What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the C Midas channel. Just want to go over on what I'm doing to the Uspmotorsports downpipes and the headers that I showed in the last video. You can see already most of what I did is I wrapped the downpipes with the DEI titanium wrap. I only did the upper part because this kit is for an R32 actually, so they were saying I might have to move these hangers. So after I get this on the car and I have to move them, they'll cut it and we weld it somewhere, then I'll wrap this down part too. Other than that, what I did was I ceramic coated the headers that I ported out, and I coated them inside and out. You can see there. And it was like a 3-stage process with this flame proof. It was a primer, the base coat, and then a satin clear coat, and then you have to bake it at 3 different temperatures. I think 250 for 30 minutes and let it cool off for 30 minutes, then 450 for 30 minutes, let it cool off 30 minutes, and then at it was 650 for like 30 minutes, and then let it cool off for 30 minutes. And that, what that does, it cures it, makes it real hard, and makes it real resistant to heat and chemicals and everything, and gives it that that extra heat protection and all that they claim. The other thing I did, because I might wrap these, is you can see here, these already had 2 small holes, and I just drilled a bigger hole because to wrap these I'm gonna have to use these cable ties, and you can see there's nowhere through here to put the wrap, so I'm gonna have to go around this, and to make it hold I'm gonna have to go through the wrap through here with these cable ties right here. So I'm gonna put it around, put 1 cable tie through there, 1 around here, 1 around there, and then back here I'm gonna have to go back there, probably like right there, and probably another one right there, and that'll make it hold. And of course around here, but I can get a cable tie around that. But that should make the titanium wrap hold to that, and that'll help insulate the heat more. And what all that's going to do is of course it's going to lower the engine bay heat, but it's going to heat up the exhaust, let the exhaust gases move faster through the exhaust, so you should get a little bit of performance out of that. And also it's going to help with scavenging in the exhaust and all that stuff. And but the main thing I was doing it for is because of the heat soak in the motor. And I notice sometimes when I'm driving around, I'll let the hood up and fill the intake. The intake is hot because the intake sits over the valve cover and right over the exhaust headers. And they do have a exhaust shield, aluminum exhaust shield, but some of that heat still comes up. So this should help a lot with that, take those temps down. And I'll probably later treat the valve cover too, to help keep more of that heat out of the intake, and keep, help keep it from heat. So it is plastic, but it still gets heat in it from when the car sits or at idle and stuff like that. All right, I'm gonna try to wrap these, and then I'll get back with you guys. All right, I'm back. I finally got the headers wrapped. You can see what I did here. It took a while for me to figure out how to get it wrapped, because you got to go all the way around, of course, but you also, because like I said, you can't wrap it like you would a pipe. I had to figure out how to get everything to hold. So what I did was I had this left over, and I just went around it a few different ways to see what was the best route to go. So what I did was I started back here from the back, and what I usually do is I'll put a piece of tape so it doesn't fray, and then I'll put a small piece of tape on here to hold it so it'll hold tight when I start wrapping it. And I just pulled it around twice, And when you get right here, you can see where it starts going up, so it's not really going to grab right there. So I put one of these ties around the tube to hold it, and then I went around again the rest of the way, but you can see I had to do the same thing again right here at this point to make it hold tight too. So I went around again right here. So I use a total of about 7. You can see right there, 1 around each tube. This last one got 3 around it, and then 2 right here around the end. So I use 4 of the smaller ties and 2 of the larger ones for this. But I think it came out pretty good. All things considered, it's a shorty manifold. I also bought this infrared gun. So what I want to do is I want to take some readings before I install all of this to see what type of difference it makes. So let's go out right now and do a few runs, and then we'll take some temps to see what they are, and then I can compare it to, you know, to see what the difference all this is going to make after everything is done. All right, I just got the car out. I've been out for about 15 or 20 minutes now, getting on it pretty hard to get the engine heated up. And the only thing is it's been hot, but it's evening now, so it's like 61 degrees out right now. So I brought this scanner with me to record some live data to see what the intake air temperature numbers are. And at first, when I came out, when the car was just idling and everything, before I really started driving, it was like at 90 something. I can't remember exactly. I think like 92 degrees. So about 30 degrees hotter than the outside temperature. But once I got out here and started getting on it, you know, sucking in a lot more of that cold air, so it cools the intake air temperature down. So 61 degrees out, the coolest it got, the intake air temperature got, the reading I got was like 68, 67 degrees. And when I'm, you know, when the car sits at idle, like at a light or something, it, you know, of course it starts sucking in more of the surrounding air. So it starts heating up. It was getting up to like 75. When I got to a light that was a longer, where I had to wait at a light longer, it went up to like 80. So it's like the longer the car idles, the hotter it's gonna get. The intake air temperature is gonna get, because it also is absorbing some of the radiant heat from the surrounding areas of the motor. So that's going to be interesting to see what kind of difference everything makes. But the factory system's pretty good. I mean, it's a plastic valve cover, so I mean intake manifold. So once the air starts moving, it cools it down pretty quick, and it cools down that intake air inside of it pretty quick. It's just the radiant heat, like I said, is sitting right over the exhaust manifold and the metal valve cover, and I don't think anyone has a plastic valve cover for this motor. Back in the day on my B4 Passat, it had a metal valve cover and a metal intake manifold. So what I did was I went and got one of the plastic intake manifolds, and I put some ceramic spray paint over it pretty thick. And man, you won't believe the difference that made. And I also painted the underside of the manifold, and I put some of the absorbent heat mat under it and everything. Some of the same things I'm doing to this, and the same thing with the headers. I ceramic coated those headers back in the day, and it was the same thing. I mean, I could put my hand on it. It got so cold. Even after sitting on it it was warm, but I could get my hand on it. It made a big difference. But all right, I'm gonna get back to the house, and I'm gonna let the car sit so everything can heat soak, and then we'll hit it with the laser to see what kind of temps we got. All right, I just got back. Let's take some readings. Let's see what the intake is at. Intake is at like 120. Let's hit the throttle body. Ooh, throttle body is hot because it's metal. Valve cover. Hit it over here. Well, let's hit the exhaust manifold right there. It jumps around. See, I can't get to the middle of it. Let me see. See, right back here, it's like 280. So it's getting pretty hot. Let's get the front of the intake. That's only at 113. Down here, though, it's like 150, closer to the head, and then the radiator. So all that heat is getting onto it. The valve cover. See, that's high. That's close to the head. Till it's hit the head. Head is like 180, 190. Fuel rail right here. Let's hit that. Like 140. So the plenum area is like 120. It was like 130-ish, 120. Then everything kind of starts equaling out because, you know, the heat kind of transfers around to everything. So it's getting a little cooler now. I did this the other day during the day when it was hot. It was like around 90 degrees out. And I hit, you know, I was going around hitting everything with the laser. It was around, the exhaust was around the same. It got up to like 280, something like that with the laser. I think the intake manifold got up to like 150. The valve cover was like around 200, something like that. And of course, you know, as the car sits, it's just going to get a little bit hotter and also start cooling off also as the cooling system runs through and takes the heat away and everything. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try to what I'm gonna do is when I get the manifold off, I'm gonna put some of that heat shielding mat under the manifold, and when I do the exhaust, I'm gonna put some heat shielding mat under that heat shield, the exhaust heat shield too, and probably paint the valve cover with some ceramic paint, and probably put some of the wrinkle paint over it too. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do red or black because I want to do something with the manifold also later, so I got to decide on that. All right, anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. Give a like, comment, subscribe. I might go ahead and film me putting the exhaust in too, so be on the lookout for that. Go ahead and leave a like for me and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and leave some comments and suggestions and stuff, or whatever kind of experience you've had with the motor, and let me know. All right, see you guys in the next video.